If anyone's ever read The Art of War, I really believe that this should be called the art of media relations, because every single interview, every interaction with the press, you should know exactly what's going to happen before you get on the phone. So I want to give you an example of this in my life. I want to, again, example-based. I think we learn from kind of seeing and doing. A couple of weeks ago, we're all familiar with the Equifax data breach, 143 million people's information leaked. I got an email from a reporter at the Canadian Press. If you can't read this, I'll read it for you. It says, "Hi Warren, I'm a business reporter with the Canadian Press in Toronto, and I'd like to get your take on the Equifax Canada and the recent hack announced last week. Are you available for a quick phone call this morning or early afternoon?" I sent back a note immediately, within 30 seconds, "Yes, I'm available. Can you give me 20 minutes? Because I never do an interview without preparation. I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of interviews as a reporter and as a spokesperson, and I would never, ever, ever do one without 20 minutes of prep. I get a piece of paper, I think it was like a bank deposit envelope out of the side pocket of my car, and I have a pen from my glove compartment, and I'm walking down the street writing out my messages for my interview with the Canadian Press. And I do a couple practice interviews in my head, and I know the messages that I want to have in the story. Call up the reporter. I'm timing my call. I encourage you to do that too, because if you don't time it, you don't know how long it is. It's 4.5 minutes long. That's a very short interview for anyone who's ever done one. And I got off the phone, and I knew exactly the quotes that were going to be in the story. And so here's what that story ended up looking like. Communications, blah, blah, Warren Weeks believes Equifax could not have handled the situation in a worse way. Quote, "We're talking about the gateway to all of your financial information in your life." And the second one was, Canadians in specific don't know if they've been targeted or not, or if they've been impacted or not. And in 2017, that's unacceptable. I wrote those quotes in advance, and then they ended up in this paper, and this one, 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 and this one. Canadian Press, a wire service, is either really, really good or really, really bad, because your story and your quotes are going to go all over the country. Whether it's good or bad depends on how the interview goes, right, and how the quotes are. So they are very high octane, high risk, high reward. So I would encourage you to have those nice, short, manageable, predictable, art of war type media interviews. I did a session